So,
Transcendental.
trickery.
Oh.
Yes. So we'll find out what that means a little bit in the Bhagavatam here. Because a lot of times, because we're so materially ambitious, actually because we're so insincere in many ways, we have to be tricked by the transcendentalist into doing something that's good for us. Just like a child, if the child is sick, you might have to disguise some bitter medicine for the child in the form of like a sweet ball or something, and the medicine's inside. Even they do this with pets too, Exactly. Anytime you want to do something good for the dog, you might have to disguise it with something that he likes. So in Bhakti Yoga, a lot of this is happening, so much transcendental trickery. So we're going to actually see some talk of transcendental trickery today. So, but before we begin, let's do our Mangal Charan prayers. These are really nice prayers. If you don't, I actually would like to at some point explain some of these prayers. We probably wouldn't have time now, but it'd be really in everyone's best interest to understand what you're praying, because you're actually highlighting all of the most auspicious personalities in our devotional line, and you're calling out for them and their mercy.
Is this the Mangala?
This is Srila Prabhupada's Mangala Charana that he left in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita.
Is this what we were doing at the retreat in Auburn in the morning? At 6:30?
Yes, the same principle. Mangala Charana is like the auspicious, obeisances unto the feet of the great masters.
Okay.
But different gurus will have different Mangala Charanas because there's different personalities that are very relevant to them. Right. So a lot of times they'll include their own guru in the Mangala Charana. We here at the ISKCON Syracuse, we just used Srila Prabhupada's Mangala Charana that he used in presenting Bhagavad Gita to the Western world. So we that's just like a basic Mangala Charana.
That's a pure bhakti book there.
What's that?
That one.
Oh yeah,
they're pure bhakti books from that.
Yes.
From that lineage.
Yes. So that's
what we use.
The Gaudiya Gita Gucci, that will have a different Mangala Charana, but also a very nice Mangala Charana. So.
Shri Chaitanya Mahavishtam Shapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Darisva Parankidam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakanam Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Shri Alpas Kargatam Sargana Raghunam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sanagan Lalita Shri Vaishnavisha He Krishna Purana Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopikanta Radhakanta Namostate Taptakanta Gorangi Radhi Vrindavaneshwari Rasamanusate Devi Pranami Hari Priye Panchakalpa Purvascha Kripasambhale Vacha Patitam Pavanvyo Vaishnavo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Advaita Gadadhara Hare
So, Srimad Bhagavatam. Everyone is leaving the world now. Not everyone, but many of the great personalities, they're realizing it's time to go, and only a few will be left. So Vidura is come back for Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra heeds the call. Gandhari also follows due to her very chaste, womanly nature. She follows the Vedic etiquette on how to follow one's husband. Yes, one more great soul has added to the group. Dr. Craig, Haribol. So, Pitar Upadate Pando Sarvanna Suhrada Shishun Arakshatang Vyasanata Pitrivyo Kvagatavita Pitari, upon my father, Upadate, falling down, Pando, Maharaj Pandu, Sarvan, all, Na, of us, Suhrda, well-wishers, Shishun, small children, Arakshatam, protected, Vyasanata, from all kinds of dangers, Pitrivyo, uncles, Kva, where, Gato, have departed, Ita, from this place. It will be relevant, so we'll just read the last one. Where's Yudhisthira saying he's looking everywhere for all his uncles? They all left. They went to, go seek liberation in the Himalayas. Where's my well-wisher uncle Vidura and mother Gandhari, who is very afflicted due to all of her sons' demise? My uncle Dhritarashtra was also very mortified due to the death of all of his sons and grandsons. Undoubtedly, I am very ungrateful. Did he therefore take my offenses very seriously and along with his wife drown himself in the Ganges? So this is Yudhishthira's worry. We're talking about the quality of Yudhishthira. He's such a great devotee, even though he's faultless in all of the activities that happen, he's still feeling, what have I done wrong? Well, I must have done something wrong in order for them not to be around. This is actually the nature of a great devotee, always considering that the fault is on them. So, when my father Pandu fell down and we were all small children, these two uncles gave us protection from all kinds of calamities. They were always our good well-wishers. Alas, where have they gone from here? It's amazing that he thinks that. Because Vidura definitely protected them from all kinds of calamities. But Dhritarashtra did not protect them from all kinds of calamities. He totally, tried to put them in all kinds of calamities. But this is the nature of a pure devotee. He never sees the fault in others and always considers the fault is on himself. Sutu vacha kripaya sneha vaiklavya suto viraha karshita atmeshwaram achakshano na pratyahati pidita. Sutu vacha, Suta Goswami said, kripaya, out of full compassion, sneha vaiklavya, mental derangement due to profound affection. Sutta, Sanjaya, Viraha Karshita, distressed by separation. Atma Ishwaram, his master. Achakshana, having not seen. Na, did not. Pratyaha, replied. Atipidita, being too aggrieved. Sutta Goswami said, because of compassion and mental agitation, Sanjaya, not having seen his own master Dhritarashtra, was aggrieved and could not properly reply to Maharaj Yudhishthira. Sanjaya was the personal assistant of Maharaj Dhritarashtra for a very long time, and thus he had the opportunity to study the life of Dhritarashtra. And when he saw at last that Dhritarashtra had left home without his knowledge, his sorrows had no bound. He was fully compassionate towards Dhritarashtra because in the game of the Battle of Kurukshetra, King Dhritarashtra had lost everything, men and money, and at last the king and queen had to leave home in utter frustration. He studied the situation in his own way because he did not know that the inner vision of Dhritarashtra has been awakened by Vidura, and that therefore he had left home in enthusiastic cheerfulness for a better life after departure from the dark well of home. Unless one is convinced of a better life after renunciation of the present life, one cannot stick to the renounced order of life simply by artificial dress or staying out of the home. So actually Prabhupada is mentioning something. A little bit about Sanjaya, a very important personality. What are some of the, what is one of probably the main feat of Sanjaya that's very relevant to all of us? Does anyone know? Yes, he can see the future, and he was the one who what? He practically spoke the Bhagavad Gita, actually. Every bit of Bhagavad Gita that you're understanding in the Mahabharata section is Sanjaya's recitation to Dhritarashtra, because he received Vedavyasa's boon to have like spiritual television, pretty much have clairvoyance, be able to. That's right, clairvoyance is vision. Yeah, like psychic vision. He was able to see the whole. The whole Bhagavad Gita, and actually many verses. One of my favorite verses in the Bhagavad Gita. I should learn the Sanskrit. But wherever there is Krishna, wherever there is Arjuna, there will always be victory, morality. There's a couple other really auspicious things. But this is Sanjaya's verse. Sanjaya speaks a few really prominent verses of the Bhagavad Gita. A very dear servant of Dhritarashtra. Also in the Mahabharata, he was instrumental as a servant of Dhritarashtra. He followed him wholeheartedly, but he always ended up following Dharma because that was his nature. He was very pious. And there's a lot of sweet moments with Sanjaya. But he's lamenting because his master, he also has what a nice mood he has as a servant. He considers that his master has left, and he's naturally so aggrieved due to this. So, but then Prabhupada is mentioning how renouncing family life, unless you're convinced of a better life after renunciation, you cannot stick to the renounced order of life simple by artificial dressing like a monk or a sannyasi or a babaji, or just staying out of the home. Well, I'm leaving home, and now you've left home, but still you're not fully convinced, and you're not fully surrendered to a higher set of principles. So real renunciation is renunciation for a higher cause, and that's Krishna's service. So Prabhupada and all our acharyas teach us and exemplify this, how to do this actually. So this is very nice. Vimrijya shruni panipyam Vishtabhyatmanam atmana Ajata shatrung pratyuche Prabhupada vanusmaran. Vimrijya, smearing. Ashruni, tears of the eyes. Panipyam, with his hands. Vishtabhya, situated. Atmanam, the mind. Atmana, by intelligence. Ajata shatrun, unto Maharaj Yudhishthir. Pratyuche, began to reply. Prabhu, of his master. Pado, feet. Anusmaran, thinking after. First he slowly pacified his mind by intelligence, and wiping away his tears, and thinking of the feet of his master, Dhritarashtra, he began to reply to Maharaj Yudhishthir. Sanjaya uvacha nahang vedavya vasitang Pitorva kulanandana Gandharya va mahabaho Mushitosmi mahatmavi. Sanjaya uvacha. Sanjaya said, Na, not, aham, I, Veda, no, vyavasitam, determination, Pitro, of your uncles, Vaha, your, Kulanandana, O descendant of the Kuru dynasty, Gandharya, O Gandhari, Va, or Mahabaho, O great king, Mushita, cheated, Asmi, I have been, Mahatmabi, by those great souls. Sanjaya said, My dear descendant of the Kuru dynasty, I have no information of the determination of your two uncles in Gandhari. O king, I have been cheated by those great souls. Purport. That great souls cheat others may be astonishing to know, but it is a fact that great souls cheat others for a great cause. It is said that Lord Krishna has also advised Yudhishthira to tell a lie before Dronacharya, and it was also for a great cause. The Lord wanted it, and therefore it was a great cause. Satisfaction of the Lord is the criterion of one who is bona fide, and the highest perfection of life is to satisfy the Lord by one's occupational duty. That is the verdict of Gita and Bhagavatam. In Gita it says, Yata pravritir bhutanam yena sarvam idang tatam svakarmana tam abhyarchya siddhing vindati manavaha. And we'll read the translation, why not? That means, by worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all-pervading, man can, in the performance of his own duty, attain perfection. So we'll go back. And then in Bhagavatam, it's Ata pumbir dvija shreshta varnashrama vibhagashaha svanusti tasya dharmasya sam sidhir harditoshanam 1-13. Dhritarashtra and Vidura, followed by Gandhari. Well, let's read what that says. O best among the twice born, it is therefore concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging the duties prescribed for one's own occupation according to caste divisions and orders of life is to please the personality of Godhead. So why is Prabhupada quoting this? Is that you may be actually, it's the best thing to do is to, do something that's seemingly adharmic, cheating, lying, or misleading others, But for a higher cause, to please the Supreme Lord, actually all of this is there. Actually, Krishna he's a great cheat, actually. He'll cheat you over and over again. He makes you think, that he leads you like a carrot on a stick, like towards some, whatever material desire you're chasing him for. And next thing you know, you're implicated in all kinds of devotional activities, which were much better than the materialistic desires you were chasing him for. But he's cheated you. He made you think, yes, come, keep going. You'll get your material desire, but next thing you know, you're devoted. And so it's actually a lot of transcendental trickery. And his servants do the same thing. A lot of times, yes, come. Krishna will fulfill all your desires. We'll be telling like this to everyone. And they're like, yes, I'm, because they're like children, actually. Yes, I want my desires. Here's candy over here. In the middle, we have some bitter medicine that you need to get healthy again. But at the same time, we have to feed it to them. So this is actually the cheating of great souls. And you'll see, actually, you'll get cheated by guru, you'll get cheated by sadhus. They'll cheat you. Why? Because they want to help you. They see something much better for you, so they're cheating you and they're making you think, yes, don't worry, all the things you want, all of the material, dirty things that you want, yes, it's waiting for you. Come over here, come. And next thing you know, you're completely devotional and you don't even care for that material desire anymore. And you say, hey, what the hell happened? And now I care for only devotional things. This actually happens. And it's your great fortune if you get cheated by a great soul. No one really makes great advancement without the cheating of some great soul. One of the biggest cheating that we do is, yes, come chant with us. Yes, fulfill all your desires. He'll take away all of your miseries. We're not saying actually he'll take away your whole life too. Chant the name of Hari. Hari, one who takes away. He'll take away all your misery. Yes, I want all my miseries taken away. Hari, he'll take away, what is another meaning? He'll take away your ignorance too. Yes, I want to be enlightened. Things like that. Why? For some unenlightened reason that you want to be enlightened. That you want to have some false ego, pride. Yes, I'm the enlightened one, or something like this. But he'll take away all of this from you. And eventually he'll take away your whole heart, and then you'll be left chasing after him for the rest of your life. So this is actually the transcendental cheating that's going on, and we happily will transcendentally cheat people. That's why even out on book distribution, it's very practical, right? You're not exactly telling them yes, you have a very dirty heart, it's filled with all kinds of manovrittis, has so many dirty, contaminated things. And this book will clear up your contamination. It's not no, this book will help you get rid of stress and really improve your life. And it's true, all of that is true. But that's not the main point of the book. The main point of the book is hey, you can get purified and you can have a great thing. You can have the association of God in your life. And most people, we saw it the other day, we did some program. But as soon as we started talking a little bit about God, we saw, wait a second. This is not what I came here for. They were thinking kirtan was going to be something else. And then you talk about God, you saw maybe not a significant number, but a good portion started leaving the room. They started getting disinterested as soon as God got mentioned. But so sometimes you have to, cheat a little bit to bring people closer to the Lord. But you have to cheat for a good cause, not for your own cause. This is actually this is a very subtle thing. Well, it's not that subtle, but it's very, you have to, not just think, oh, the Lord, he cheats and he recommends we cheat. So now let me cheat everyone for all of my, no, you'll get bad karma for that. Now you're engaging in karma. But if you, try to always serve the Lord, nothing's out of lying, cheating, stealing. Nothing's out of the range of things that you could do to purely serve the Lord, actually. So we saw this in Mahabharata, where this was Yudhishthira's one fault. He was asked to cheat Dronacharya by Krishna. He has to be cheated in order for victory to be had here. And Yudhishthira could not do it. Well, he did. He like pretty much listened, but he still couldn't fully, take the order, which is why he he was a transcendental. He was his chariot wheels were gliding above the ground. His chariot was flying, but actually after that he came back down to earth due to his inability to see the higher dharma. So this is very interesting. So let's hear what Prabhupada says. Dhritarashtra and Vidura, followed by Gandhari, did not disclose their determination to Sanjaya, although he was constantly with Dhritarashtra as his personal assistant. Sanjaya never thought that Dhritarashtra could perform any act without consulting him. But Dhritarashtra's going away from home was so confidential that it could not be disclosed even to Sanjaya. Sanatana Goswami also cheated the keeper of the prison house while going away to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And similarly, Raghunath Das Goswami also cheated his priest. Also, that was his Diksha Guru. That's not so well known, but Yadunandan Acharya, the priest, was his Diksha Guru, and he cheated him to go see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And left home for good to satisfy the Lord. To satisfy the Lord, anything is good, for it is in relation with the absolute truth. We also had the same opportunity to cheat the family members and leave home to engage in the service of Srimad Bhagavatam. Such cheating was necessary for a great cause, and there is no loss for any party in such transcendental fraud. So, yes, it's this is very good. Actually, we're in a cheating business, not to cheat people by we're not here to cheat people to get something for our own gain. That's not what we're looking for. We're here to cheat people because they need to be cheated. That's the only way they can be convinced to take something that's good for them. It's really unfortunate, but it's also not. It's also part of the beautiful mystery of life. You have to cheat others in order for their own good, because they're so rascal that they don't want to take anything for their own good. They want nothing for their own good. So you have to give them some, dress it up in such a way, I don't know. We went to some, kind of, whatchamacallit the other day. We went to some, kind of like a hippie festival, and it's just like, new agey type of, thing like that. And we kind of had to dress kirtan up in a way. And I saw, once I started undressing kirtan a little bit, some people were like, wait, God is a part of this? And they were just so offended that God could be a part of something. And you made me chant the names of God that first kirtan, and so as soon as you start talking a little bit about God, people, but too late, we cheated you. You did it already. So even when we go downtown and we do Harinam Sankirtan, which this is a very important activity. Ben the other day was inspired, yesterday, not the other day, he was seeing his guru's Harinam Sankirtan on the Facebook, and he was inspired. We have to do Harinam Sankirtan like this downtown. This is very good, but we need numbers. So why don't we all join? This is a good amount of numbers here. Yeah, we'll start with just getting a few people together, and if we can actually do this, then it can build, and we can bring so many things. But yeah, this is. And actually, we're in the cheating business. We're downtown. We're sharing the holy names. Anyone who's hearing these holy names, especially if we're chanting with as pure a heart as possible, their material life is ending. We've unplugged their fan. And now they, even if they're laughing at, oh, you Krishna people, or Krishna, Hare Krishna, yes. We've cheated you already. You took the name of the Lord, and now He's going to end your material life. Yes, prasadam is ultimately cheating too. Yes, how it's some food, and free food, it's free, yes, it's free. There's a reason it's free. There's anyone who gives you anything for free, they're trying to cheat you. It's going to cost you something else. Yes. So whenever they give you anything for free, Like for instance, commercials. You watch TV, but you get free commercials. Why? Because they know they're programming you. They're putting something in you, and they know later on someone's going to buy something of theirs. This free social media that we're all interacting with. We're being programmed. We're being led to all kinds of things. There's a reason it's free. Exactly. Now, on a material level, that's true. But on a spiritual level, too, yes, the reason it's free because it's actually going to cost you everything. Eventually, Hari will take. That's what the name means. He's going to take everything from you. Anything, but he'll take all the bad, all the inauspicious, but then he's going to leave you with himself. So, this transcendental fraud, as Prabhupada is talking about, this is actually this is our business. We're trying to cheat the people of this earth for something that would be good for them. They're so hell-bent, on doing things that are so terrible for them that will only give them misery. So like also the people do this like heroin addicts. Heroin addicts, they overdose on heroin. And then you have to cheat the body in order to get them to be revived. So you have to give them Narcan, which is like a kind of like a type of almost like heroin. But it does enough to revive them and gives them what they're fixing for, what the body's fixing for, and then they could revive them and give them something good. So people, this transcendental cheating, and that's not transcendental, but this type of cheating is actually being used for good all the time. There's all kinds of political parties, and they create things on social media and messages and things like that. So, they're saying one thing, but behind what they're saying, there's some agenda being there. There's something back, there's a reason they're presenting certain things for you. So the devotee, though, we're supposed to cheat people for the Lord. But it's good. It's a good thing to do. Prabhupada, he's saying he had to cheat his family by leaving his family behind. When you take the family life, you say, yes, honey, I will be there. Yes, son, I will be there. Things like that. Here's this, here's that. But actually, in the renounced order of life, like Raghunath Das Goswami, he even cheated his Diksha Guru. The priest is Diksha Guru. And he's a pure devotee. Yadunanda Acharya. It's not like he's not a pure devotee. He's like a pure devotee. He's an associate of Lord Chaitanya. He's in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. But for the higher cause of associating with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he cheated him. This was under first, not just to say, okay, I have a Diksha Guru and I'm going to go cheat my Diksha Guru. No, there's a reason Prabhupada actually left this out, because it's not really for an immature mind to understand this. But you should understand that he followed he cheated his Guru for the Lord, to have the direct association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And not only that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cheated him when the first time he did it and sent him back. But Raghunath Das Goswami went and got the blessings of Nityananda Prabhu, because that's what he was missing, all the blessings of the Vaishnavas and all the blessings of Guru, who's Nityananda Prabhu is the ultimate Guru. And so under the shiksha of Nityananda Prabhu, and the blessings of Nityananda Prabhu, then Raghunath Das Goswami also. But that being said, don't be afraid of cheating for the Lord, actually. You will be called to cheat others, and you may be surprised who you cheat in your pursuit of the Lord. And you may be surprised who cheated you in pursuit of the Lord. You're like, oh my God. Okay. But if you're a mature devotee, you say, wow, well, that was good. I'm glad they cheated me. So like this is actually, this is part of the process. Narada Muni cheats so many people. He goes around and he either with a curse or a blessing or a teaching, because he's trying to cheat them out of their material misery. He's actually very compassionate. Just like, an animal shelter. Sometimes they have to go get rabid animals, and they have to do so many behind-the-back tricks just to subdue the animal. And they really have the interest of cuddling and petting the animal, but the animal doesn't see, get away from me, get away from me. But no, it's okay, and they have to trick it, kind of, like some type of trickery in order for the animal's well-being. So this is us. We're some rabid animals in this material world. And we're like, God, I'm the master, I'm the enjoyer, rah, 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 like this, barking like idiots. And then so the devotees are like, okay, don't worry, I'm sorry, yes, you're right, don't worry. And they'll cuddle the false ego, you're okay, yes, you're doing very good, yes, no problem. just take this mantra, it'll fulfill all your desires and things like this. And yes, come associate with devotees, eat prasadam, it'll make everything better. Don't worry, you'll get your job. Don't worry, you'll get all these things. But really what's happening is the heart is getting purified. Really what's happening is they have the tools to deal with all the problems of life. They're having, transcendental experience. They're removing these dirty coverings that are causing them so much misery and trying to be the master, trying to be the enjoyer of this world. So this transcendental fraud is necessary. And the Lord will do it, and His representatives will do it, but it's for the great cause. So we should be happy when also we get cheated. We could look to the people, the devotees who've cheated us, and at least we can thank them. Thank you for cheating me. Thank you for cheating me because you've helped me greatly. So many, the gurus in my life have cheated me, and now I want their cheatings. Please, what cheating do you have to offer me? Don't let me know what it is, but just what do you suggest? I know you have some plan for me. So this is very good. So this is a main point of today. Let's do one more verse. Atha Jagama Bhagavan Narada Saha Tumburu Pratyuttaya Bivadyaha Sanujo Byarchayan Munim. Atha, thereafter, Ajagama, arrived, Bhagavan, the godly personality, Narada, Sahatumburu, along with his tumburu, musical instrument, Pratyuttaya, having gotten up from their seats, Abhivadya, offering their due obeisances, Aha, said, Asanuja, along with the younger brothers, Abhyarchayan, thus while receiving in a proper mood, Munim, the sage. While Sanjaya was thus speaking, Sri Narada, the powerful devotee of the Lord, appeared on the scene carrying his tumburu. Maharaj Yudhishthira and his brothers received him properly by getting up from their seats and offering obeisances. So this is actually the qualification of Yudhishthira and the Pandavas. Is, Narada will just pop up in their living room. That would you know how amazing that would be? You're just you're doing your activities and you're talking about something, next thing, boom, Narada's there. This has happened to them so many times, so many different sages visit, and this only happens to very, very pure or unfortunate personalities. So anyway, purport. Devarishi Narada is described herein as Bhagavan due to his being the most confidential devotee of the Lord. If you remember, he's actually mentioned as one of the many incarnations of the Lord in the early part of the Bhagavatam. But not in full potency, but definitely in potency for sure. The Lord and his very confidential devotees are treated on the same level by those who are actually engaged in the loving service of the Lord. Such confidential devotees of the Lord are very much dear to the Lord because they travel everywhere to preach the glories of the Lord in different capacities and try their utmost to convert the non-devotees of the Lord into devotees in order to bring them to the platform of sanity. So that's what we're dealing with here. Everyone's insane, we're insane, and the sane people are they have to, just like in the mental asylum, I'm sure there's all kinds of trickery that has to be done in order to get the insane people just to relax and be peaceful. Come here, look, we got snack time or something like that, or whatever it is. What? Drugs, yeah, whatever. Whatever it is, this is on the mundane platform. But we're getting transcendental drugs. Take this mantra. Eat this prasadam, all these things. So actually a living being cannot be a non-devotee of the Lord because of his constitutional position. But when one becomes a non-devotee or a non-believer, it is to be understood that the person concerned is not in a sound condition of life. The confidential devotees of the Lord treat such illusion living beings, and therefore they are most pleasing in the eyes of the Lord. The Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita that no one is dearer to him than one who actually preaches the glories of the Lord to convert the non-believers and non-devotees. So if you want to actually be dear to the Lord, be his servant, this is the activity to do. Go out and preach. That's what we're called to do. It's why, even you see our acharyas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he sent his dear associates, the Goswamis, all to Vrindavan. and they were to excavate Vrindavan, restore the holy Dham, bring it back to its prominence, and everything like this. But then their disciples, they started sending, all of them just wanted to be in Vrindavan, be in Vrindavan, be in Vrindavan. And they were saying, no, you go out and preach. And actually the same with Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu wanted to be wherever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he kept chastising, no, go back out and preach. Go back out to here. And then Nityananda Prabhu spread Krishna consciousness all over India, but especially through Bengal. And same with Srinivasacharya, same with Shamananda Prabhu. And same with Narottam Das Thakur, whose bhajans we sing every day, the Tulsi Arati bhajan and the Guru Vandan prayer. They're sent back out to preach, even though but they were like loving, relishing Vrindavan so much. And we should go, we should relish Vrindavan. But then once we get what we need from Vrindavan, Krishna will power us up, he'll charge us up, and empower us. All right, now do this, you have to do this thing. Yes, it's hell over here, I get it. But go here and spread. You'll get so much mercy this way. I have practical experience in my life. I never ever wanted to go to Syracuse. Ever. I would never ever consider this region of the country. It's very bad climate, very cold for so many months of the year. So much, that was the main reason. And not only that, when we get here, the whole winter you don't see the sun for days. What kind of place is this? I don't know. But it's, I never ever would have ever wanted to come to this region. Even you just go like an hour or two south, an hour, the sky opens up. It's incredible. You just see like, oh my God, like we did a few trips throughout the winter and just saw, wow, everyone else is so fortunate. They can see the sun. Why in the place I live, you can't even see the sun? We chant the Gayatri mantra, and it's glorifying the sun, how worshipable the sun is. And the divine rays of the sun. But, but if for whatever reason, my place that I have to reside and do my work, no sun. But actually, I would never trade, now I've decided, all right, I'm going to double down. I'm going to put myself into a 15-year commitment here in Syracuse via the mortgage. I'm going to put myself in another commitment over here, this other, the same region, no problem. Why? Because there's so much pleasure in service to the Lord, and you actually feel the Lord's reciprocation in doing what the Lord is asking, and that's to actually share this, preach the glories of the Lord. That's what Sankirtan is. Means it's not a by yourself thing, and Krishna's not asking us to be, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at least, not asking us to be Bhajananandis. That will be an element of our practice. At some point, even maybe at some point in your life, Bhajananandi, that's kind of renouncing everyone and everything and going fully and wholly meditating on Krishna. You're ready to leave this world. Maybe that could be someone's path. But actually our acharyas, they're what's called Goshthianandis. And they live by example and they show that example to others. And actually you practically see it. Nothing has purified me more in my life is just making attempts to share the message with others. And then others are reflecting and looking back at me and actually helping me to realize where I'm off and where I'm on and what's good and what's working, what's not working, and how to keep making advancement. So this is a very important part here. There's another really important part. I'm just going to highlight where I have to continue reading because I don't want to lose the spot. But he was talking about how the devotee, and in specific, especially the guru, is actually non-different from Krishna. This is practically, we chant this every morning. We don't realize we chant it when we say Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastra Uktastata Bhavyata Eva Sadvi Kintu Praborya Priya Eva Tasya Vande Guru Shri Charanada Vindam. So Sakshat, yes.
Wait, I didn't know I was chanting that.
Yes, we tricked you. We've been tricking you the whole time. We say, yes, chant this thing. These Sanskrit impressions are going to come into you. Yes, you don't realize. That's why a lot of times we get to the program. I don't want to. There's some things I'm willing to put in English, and then there's some things I'm saying, no, just leave that. We got to cheat them into this, So, but that's Sakshat means directly. Haritvena, Hari is the Supreme Lord Krishna. The cheater is taking from you. Tvena, the guru has the same qualities of Krishna. Sakshat Haritvena Samasta, all Shastra, all of the scriptures say this, actually. It's not just coming out of nowhere. Uktas, and they're acknowledging Tatha Bhavyate Vasadmi. So the sadhus are also considering it as well. So everyone is saying, the scriptures and the sadhus, they're saying that the guru or the devotee is non-different. The pure devotee is non-different than Krishna. So you should see the pure devotees in your life. This is Krishna coming to me. Many times you see this. Even actually Advaita consciousness is seeing that everybody is actually Krishna coming to you in some way or form. Like I was telling you the other day, I had even a homeless man, and he gave me a little bit of a jolt. He said, God wants you to feed people, and I'm hungry. And I was like, here's a book. But he was like, I could tell he was really hungry. And I was like, fine. I normally would never do this, but here's some money. Because I did do that.
Go sell the book and get the money.
I also told him that at first. But
It's more than one person.
yeah, I told him that too, but he actually, I can tell Krishna was calling me, so I said, okay, I normally don't ever like to do that, but he was really hungry, and like he was really skinny and like veins everywhere, and I'm like, oh, fine, but this isn't, not too much important, but this actually, and then we chanted again, Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastra. Uktastata Bhavyate Vasadbi. So the sadhus in the Shastra all agree that the Guru actually has the qualities, they're Haritvena, they have the qualities of the Lord. Kintu Prabhoya Priyevatasya. However, why? Because they're so dear to the Lord, we should actually offer them our obeisances. And then we say in the next verse, Yasya prasadad bhagavat prasado Yasya prasadan nagati kutopi Dhyayan stuvam stasya yashastri sandhyam Vande guru shri chadanaravinda. Yasya, unto him prasadam. So if you want his mercy, so Yasya prasadad, with his mercy, one who gets his mercy, Bhagavat prasado, you will get the mercy of the Lord, actually. So if you get the mercy of the pure devotee, you'll get the mercy of the Lord. You don't get the mercy of the devotees, no Lord's mercy is coming to you. And then he says, Yasya prasadan nagati kutopi. And that's, Yasya aprasadan now. One who doesn't get his mercy, nagati kutopi, they can't find good fortune anywhere. They won't be able to make advancement anywhere. What's that? This is Vishnu Puran. So this is quoted many, many times over. But this is true. If you actually want the mercy of the Lord, Prabhupada has given us this prayer every day. Actually, Prabhupada has this, when we worship the Lord, he has us chanting this prayer. Actually, the more, the way his guru taught is when you worship the guru. But Prabhupada didn't even so much teach that in ISKCON in the beginning. He kind of had to trick them into that a little bit. But he said, when you worship the Lord, you chant this prayer. And it's actually worshiping the Guru. So this is the transcendental trickery that Prabhupada is actually giving. But so when we chant this every morning, we're stating every morning, the only way to get mercy is through the Lord's pure devotee. And if we don't get that mercy, we'll never get the Lord's mercy. We'll never find it anywhere. And then dhyayan, I meditate stuvams and praise tasya unto him. Yashas Trisandhyam. Yashas is on his glory, to glorify. Trisandhyam 3 times a day. So this is actually in Diksha, the Gayatri mantra. And you get the Gayatri mantras. There are Guru Gayatris. You will chant and you will worship the Gurus. And you ask them, before you go to the next Gayatri that is approaching, you could say late Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then Krishna and Radha themselves, you approach the Guru and you meditate on the Guru to take you there. So it's like this actually. We should, it's nice when you start understanding the inner semantics of what's happening in the process. It's very, very nice. But These all over time, these revelations will come, be revealed to you. Some aspect of Krishna will come and reveal this thing to you. But yeah, this is how you get mercy. It's through the Lord's devotee. You never think, oh, I have my, this is why I have a huge issue with what's being passed off for, Christianity. This is, we don't need any living guru. We have Jesus. Jesus 2,000 years ago, blah, blah, that's all you need. And they're staunch in their wholeheartedness. But Jesus, he said to all his disciples, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and nobody's coming to the Father except through me. And some might think he was speaking eternally. That yes, this is going to be forever. But he was speaking right then, if you look at the Greek translation, he was speaking right then and right there to the persons he was talking to. Why? Because he was showing actually this Yasya Prasada Bhagavat Prasada. If you want the mercy of the Father, you have to come through me. I'm the representative. So this is actually how it's done.
There's the Pope and bishops and cardinals and priests and ministers.
That's only in the Catholic Church, actually.
Well,
The Catholic Church sort of resembles a Christian.
Yes,
somewhat,
yes.
Apparently.
Yes, there's
Yeah.
something like this.
And the Orthodox Church.
Yes, and-
even more so.
Yes, and they
The
also
Orthodox
have.
Church actually is very
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah, I'm blanking out. I'm blanketing. Not all Christianity is equal. There's just like there's many sects of Christianity, and some are doing very bona fide things, and some are, kind of have lost the essence of how important it is to have, a mahanta, a guru, like somebody who's guiding you. Because actually it says in the Bhagavatam, Nirdeham Adyam, Nirdeham Adyam, Sulabam Sudurlabam, Plavam Sukalpam, Guru Karnadara. In that part, Guru Karnadara means he navigates Plavam, your ship, your body, Nirdeha, which is very auspicious, very rarely obtained, but also somehow or other you didn't have to put much effort. You got this body into it. That's what the first line means. And then he says, Plavam, your boat, your vehicle. Sukalpam is very well designed, but Guru Karnadara, it needs to be navigated by a guru. If your situation isn't being navigated by a guru, you're actually wasting the human form of life. This is actually what Bhagavatam states. And I'm saying not just Bhagavatam, like the Bible. Krishna states this in Uddhava Gita. This is Krishna's statement here. You're wasting your human form of life if you're not being navigated by guru. So the guru navigates you how? Through the ear. How? Chastisement. And also, if he has to, he'll take the ear and he'll pull the ear. And he goes, what are you doing? But this is what Guru Karnadara, you need this in your life. If you're not getting chastisement from your guru, he's cheating you. You're not ready for that level of you, actually. Guru means itself, it could mean heavy. It means heavy. If your guru has not gotten heavy on you yet, you haven't done intimate service. He should get heavy on you. But this is actually proper. But this is very, very important. We need the mercy and the blessings of devotees to get the Lord's mercy at all. That's the only way it comes. The Lord is, He's not finding us so special where we can bypass His devotees. No, He puts the devotees in that special position. That's why, Jesus could have enlightened the whole world if He wanted. Or even God could have enlightened the whole world. Why would He send His Son? Why would Jesus send disciples out to every town and village? Why couldn't Jesus just go do it Himself? Maybe He could have. He had all kinds of mystic ability. But actually, He's giving, service is what we're looking for. There's nothing more joyful to being engaged in service. This is what the devotee's life is service. So when you get service, you should take it. You should take it, and you should see so much mercy is coming to you, but you take it under guidance. They're giving you this service. You don't give yourself the service. Oh, I'm doing this. If you don't have the blessings of your seniors, if you don't have the blessings of the gurus in your life, and there's many gurus in your life, and you should try, anyone who's ever acted as a guru to you, in some way, you should try and always get their blessings. And the only time you cheat them is when a higher guru is telling, no, you must cheat them. So like this. So Nityananda Prabhu is, he had Raghunath Das Goswami actually cheat his Diksha Guru. But ultimately, because Because he wanted to give him Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was calling him. So this may happen at some point. Anyway, I don't want to make such a thing. Yes, cheat your guru. Like no. don't do this thing. You should follow your guru wholeheartedly. Actually, this is the only way you'll get the Lord's mercy. So, the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita that no one is dearer to him than one who actually preaches the glories of the Lord to convert the non-believers and non-devotees. Such personalities as Narada must be offered all due respects, like those offered to the personality of Godhead himself. And Maharaj Yudhishthira, along with his noble brothers, were examples for others in receiving a pure devotee of the Lord like Narada, who had no other business save and except singing the glories of the Lord, along with his veena, a musical stringed instrument. This is why, when great personalities come here, we should give them a garland. It doesn't have to be so elaborate. You have to work within your means. Maybe you don't have $40 on a garland. Like a garland of roses that's an expensive garland. Maybe you don't have that type of facility. But even you give them something, whatever you can, with whatever is within your means, you should give great personalities these things. This is the etiquette. So any, great spiritual personality, they should be given all types of... You should treat them like God themselves has actually appeared before you, because that's actually what's happened. The Lord has given you a piece of himself as mercy. And how are you responding? This is actually when a guru, shiksha or diksha, comes into your life, you should understand the Lord has come in this form. And then so you should treat them accordingly. Many people some may even wash their feet. Some may, give them the finest foods that they can muster up. And any type of special treatment you can. Here, you let me cover all your travel. Let me cover all your expenses. Things like this. Anything like this. So anyway, these are kind of the etiquettes. So Narada has appeared, and now they're going to give Narada the appropriate worship as if Krishna himself has appeared. And Krishna leads by example. He worships Narada many times over in the Bhagavatam. Now we're going to end here, though, today. We talked a lot about transcendental cheating. I wish you all to be transcendentally cheated. Yes?
Can I ask you about your most memorable time that you were transcendentally cheated that's you're comfortable sharing?
Oh, that's it. I mean, the most obvious one to me is when I first started going to the temple. Interestingly enough, I went to the temple and I wasn't going to come back, actually. I went to the temple and because I was like, this is an Indian thing. Temple was all Indian, and I just wasn't comfortable enough yet to be like, all right, this is only Indian, they're speaking Hindi, everything. It was just like really kind of a turn off for me. So there's a devotee named Chinmay, but I had the understanding, I read enough Bhagavad Gita. You could say the first time I was transcendentally cheated when I started reading Prabhupada's books. He was cheating me. The whole way through, I've just been cheated over and over and over again. Because I got into, the first time I read Krishna book, I thought I was Krishna. I really did. I had this Maya body thinking, I'm Krishna, and all I can do is just uncover that and learn how Krishna acts. I can act like this. So I was reading all about and I was like, well, what's a better way to learn about Krishna than the Krishna book, who is written by Prabhupada. So Prabhupada is instructing me throughout the whole Krishna book, pretty much cheating, telling me about the pastimes of Krishna, which I'm really interested in, but then pretty much telling me how my philosophy is completely bogus. And I'm like, no. And so anyway, so then eventually I'm realizing Prabhupada's right. I'm realizing what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. He's telling me the same thing. And now I'm like, oh wait, he wants me to be a devotee. I'm not actually Krishna. So I was cheated out of that, getting into Krishna. And then I got cheated into being a devotee, I'm not really a devotee, but I'm aspiring to be a devotee. And then when they take me to the temple, they just kept cheating me. I get to the temple finally. It's like, nope, all Indian. I tried my best, but this isn't for me. And they just said, no, we got this. By good fortune, there was another festival that same day, and they drove me 45 minutes away to another festival they went to. And again, it's practically all Indian. Then I see deity worship for the first time. I'm like, nope, definitely not. crazy. Statues, flowers, this thing, that thing. What the heck's going on here? No, they literally got they rented like a giant pool in the middle of the temple, and they had like a boat festival. And I'm watching the deities get pulled in boats, and I'm like, this is insane. No way. But, you know what? Before I went there, they cheated me like the best feast I ever had in my whole life. Up until that point, I helped them cook in the kitchen, and when you help cook in the kitchen, they make the whole feast for everyone, but then they make some special items so everyone who cooks gets a really nice feast. So I ate this feast, and I was just like in heaven. I was like, wow. So that was the first cheating. And they were like, that tasted so good. And they hit me right where it hurt, because that's where everyone's so vulnerable, is their tongue. So prasadam is the ultimate cheater. That's why we always giving prasadam.
Krishna wouldn't have kept reading if you didn't think you were Krishna.
Yeah, you know, that's right.
Was cheating.
Yes, Krishna cheated me by making me think that I could be him. You know, so that it started there, but every way through, I've just been cheated over and over and over again. And then they take me to the festival, and then again, there's more prasadam. So I say, okay. I go eat prasadam again with the devotees, and this time I find some Western people, and I sit with the Western people. And then they start cheating me, telling me like, you know, because what I was reading, I was telling them, and they encouraged me, and they made me feel good, and they stimulated my false ego, and told me like, hey, you're doing really awesome, like, you know, and they meant it too, because I was making a lot of sincere attempts, and so they, you know, they convinced me to go back again. So I tried to go back to the first temple that I went to, even though it was all Indian. I said, you know what, they were really nice, and it was really good food, you know, and that was really attractive to me. And then I went back. And then some other a man named Raman, he cheated me by buying me a whole Srimad Bhagavatam set. I went to, you know, I wanted to pay. I had like $100, and I just thought, like, I never bought a book that was over $100 before, you know. So I thought, like, okay, you know, like, what is it, $20, $25, $50, no problem. I had an herb business, an under-the-table herb business, if you can catch my drift. I don't want to incriminate myself or anything online. But anyway, I had an under-the-table herb business, so money wasn't really like a big thing for me. I was like, yeah, whatever I want, I'll get it. You know, so I had this, I thought $100 would be enough. That's all I had in my wallet. And he's like, no, it's 308 for a set or something like that. I'm like, oh, wow. And then the devotee who got me there, he was all in anxiety that I'm like paying that much money. And he's like, no, hold on 1 second. He goes over to his friend Raman, who's like a big business guy, and he's like pointing to me and everything. I'm like, what the hell's happening? Next thing you know, Raman comes over, opens his wallet, takes out like $300 and just throws it down. He's like, you take this Bhagavatam. I'm like, oh my God, like, what are you doing? No, like, I'll pay for it. I have money back. Like, no, you take it. And so I didn't realize he cheated me, because he said, but the only thing is, now you have to learn, you have to read this thing, and then you have to teach me it. I never got to do that part yet. I don't know if I'm really ever going to do that part. He probably cheated me, gave me an instruction I can never do. But anyway, then I started reading it. And then that was it from there. The Bhagavatam cheated me over and over and over again. Because the Bhagavatam is actually set up in such a way that it will entice you to go further and further, and it will only keep revealing things once certain things are out of the way, and then the next revelation will come. It takes you through the Anartha Nivritti stage, actually. So anyone who will read the Bhagavatam, you'll get cheated by Krishna, and next thing you know, by the time you get to the end of the Bhagavatam, you're convinced of being Krishna's devotee, even though you went in totally having all kinds of materialistic desires. And the Bhagavatam teases it out. Yes. Well, the best way to fulfill all your material desires is this way. And it's true. It's not even like it's lying to you. But by the time you could ever maybe potentially think about that, you're like, well, now there's something better. Now they're talking about something better. That material desire sucks now in comparison to this. This guy said it was like a shard of broken glass in comparison to broken jewels. It's like Dhruva Maharaj. When you get to the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj, you'll very viscerally realize whatever nonsense thing you're chasing in the material world. So anyway, it's just one whole cheating fest. It's just been one giant cheat from the beginning to the end. I've been being cheated by the devotees, and I'm so happy that they've done it, you know, over and over again. So it's just been one transcendental fraud, starting with Krishna himself making me think that I could be him. And yes, he is here. You're really interested in being me? Read this Krishna book. Somehow or other, it came to me. So anyway, like this.
I was going to say, in my experience, it's kind of like what appears to be a destination actually turns out to be a step.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
But
right.
at the time, it's like you see this platform and this is it.
Yes.
I'm about to break through.
Yes.
Right? And then you get there, and it's like, well, it is a destination, but it's only a step.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
another-
A much better destination.
Another,
Yes,
that's what
yes.
keeps you going.
That's right. It has.
And that it is. For me, it's like, if I wasn't having a powerful experience with each step, I wouldn't be doing it.
That's right. You wouldn't keep
So I
walking.
feel like I'm being guided.
That's right. And it's
By
good.
my experience.
That's right.
Not by my desire to believe anything.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, that's all really, at the end of the day, I mean, our Goswamis say this, at the end of the day, your bhakti will only keep going with pratyaksha, your direct experience. Unless you're directly experiencing bhakti, but you have to actually be, a certain level of sincerity has to be there to directly experience bhakti.
When you get
So-
to be a certain age, I've kind of like outgrown a lot of childish things. Like I already was members of groups and this, that, and need to be part of some. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
When you get to be a certain age, that stuff's gone.
yeah, absolutely.
I find myself
Yeah.
it's actually very nice.
Yes, it's
And
very.
I felt like Prem Prayojan, really, I felt like the invitation is there. Ask the questions, challenge me.
Yeah,
Wasn't being asked to come in as a child, as a blind faith,
yes.
or anything like
Do
that.
everything I say.
Asked to bring your
Yes.
whole mind. If this isn't for you,
Yeah.
the whole thing is like a dedication to knowing the truth.
Yes,
The
that's right.
truth.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the whole point
That's
of the
why I hooked up
Bhagavatam.
with them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Because that's what I felt. That's what I experienced.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
otherwise I wouldn't.
That's why his retreat is experience
even
bhakti.
do that.
He gave a wonderful experience of bhakti. I felt myself absolutely very powerfully impacted by that retreat, and
What's the
also,
name? Experience back.
well, yeah, that was the.
Little taste.
Yeah, I was watching. For me, from my vantage point, watching so many people I've been trying to help cultivate for many years just pop off and get extremely inspired in bhakti, I was like astonished. I couldn't even believe it. Actually, I was like, I can't.
That's what they really, in my past, they refer to that as Shakti.
Yeah.
Like it's a real awakening of some level.
Yes.
It's a definite experiential thing
Yes.
that happens. And a lot of the scriptures talk about when you come in touch with a real master, you should have some level of that.
Absolutely.
That's what should guide you.
Absolutely.
Not up here.
Yes.
Here.
It should
You
be.
should feel like God has got you there.
Yeah, it should be a visceral experience.
Get your attention.
And I watched it. I watched it in you guys. I'm watching it continuously, so I'm paying attention. So it's very, very nice, and I'm really happy for everyone who has felt very inspired to keep taking steps and keep going further, and this would be wonderful. Oh, Abhiram and Sita, Hare Krishna. It is, it's very late, 9:30. So, Grantharaj,